DIY jewelry repair. A lot of times I will replace the stone, and sometimes it looks fine, and sometimes it looks like out of place. I also will just use some glue. Where did that glue go? I'll just use some glue to fill up the empty spaces, and a lot of times I like that better because it's not going to be a stone that falls out again. And like with this blue one, the color looks better. So it's kind of just trial and error to see what ends up looking best, because like with this one you can tell there's still. So here the hook came off, and you can just order hooks from online, go to Hobby Lobby, and then they will match, or you can find two that match from some earrings that you don't want if you can't find the matching hook. The other thing is the silver tarnishing, because of course it's fake and these are just plastic beads, but you can use a metallic pen or a Sharpie that is that color to fill it in, silver or gold, and then you want to put a coat over it that can be clear nail polish if you don't have like a real official sealant coat. And this one, it's really good because it's the back of the necklace, so it's going to touch your skin, and like your sweat will make the color come off again. When it's a surface that touches your skin, just keep in mind that you want something to protect it from the sweat and the salts that will come off your skin. Now let's move over to this earring that is missing the gems. I actually hate this super glue because it squirts out too much, but I just have to get a little bit. Well, that was super frustrating. Mostly because like I don't have my tweezers or any tools like that, so I had to use my hand, and it's a little crooked. Anyway, I think I got these little gemstones from the Dollar Tree, which is also kind of a hack because you can get the tools from there too, and you can use tools that are designed for something else, or you can buy something really cheap that has some sort of detail or decoration you want to use and just pull it off of there. Moving right along, this hairpin, this is the gem that actually goes in there, but it fell off. This is just sort of a tip, but I suggest using a super glue that dries really clear, so you might want to test your glues or tapes or whatever and see how they look first. Also, this is another use for the metallic Sharpies or paint pens, whatever, because the inside where the clear gems go, you can see that they usually will have painted it, or they'll put the silver color or something reflective there because it's going to shine through the clear plastic. So you might have to touch that up as well. This other little piece that has the pearl, it was like the whole head of that fell off. It's actually metal on metal, but it does kind of snap back in place, but it just needed a little glue. Those are probably my favorite ones because not my favorite that they break, but when you put them back together, it looks like just the same as it did originally. So now you can see with the earrings, put them back together, put the silver color over what was tarnished, and some clear nail polish so it won't come off again right away. Also came up with a interesting sort of side note hack here. The clear polish can also be used for like the wood finishes, to just sort of like make it shiny again. If you don't have the actual varnish, it won't hurt it. Just use a paper towel and wipe it even. So I'm not sure, you may or may not be able to see the difference. Again, always test, test, test first. There are also certain oils that will do this, like a light baby oil or something like that, which again, that's just like a hack. It's not as good as if you just like get the actual products for things like that, unless you use like a really natural oil that can be good for the wood. Oh, there are so many uses for stickers. So here we put one on a chapstick, and this is a test sample. So you can see there's a lot of lines, and also like this was just using tape, so it went down below to like where you have to turn the chapstick. But you can just use a razor blade to kind of clean that up and get rid of all the bubbles. I also think if I just am more careful, it wouldn't have had so many bubbles and stuff. Pretty bad looking razor, but it's just for like cutting around the tape, and you do need a straight edge like that for this, not stickers. But it's really neat because you can just like personalize things, or you can like give it as a gift or customize it for a party or something. Oh, and it looks pretty good once you test it out and like get the right materials to put on there. Hopefully you can see it's looking much better, that the lumpy parts are off. This is just a prototype to kind of give me an idea. I was like, just sample one for DIY stuff, and I would suggest you do too, so that you can kind of see like where the tape will go. If you have to use like tape or a glue that's not really like what you want to use, then you get to see how it's going to come out, and sort of like how much pressure you have to use, what sort of tools you might want to make it still end up looking decent without maybe you don't have the craft tools that you want. So this is like really like craft hacks and doing stuff 101. So even this, like the way it came out, for my real ones, I'll know how I want to like seal it onto the chapstick or pen or whatever, because I can actually avoid all of those ripples and bubbles completely and not have to worry about cutting it off, except for like maybe if it's long. Then moving right along, because I kind of just have been pulling out a lot of stuff and touching it up and everything. Here I glued this back together, and then I also put some mounting tape, stuck that in between there, and I'll like color or paint over the back just to make it look a little nicer, even though like over here too, even though it'll be covered up. So that's really just kind of because I find it soothing to do arts and crafts. You can see the mounting tape sticking out a little bit here, and once again, your handy dandy razor trims that away real nice. And it can stand up again. I like this little sign, but it got water damage, so I'm just gonna cover the whole frame in glitter and sparkliness. What do you think? We put the little replacement stone in there, and I just think glitter makes everything better. So anyway, yeah, I'll just like gently sprinkle glitter over it and seal it with the clear nail polish again, or you can have like one that's actually specifically for jewelry making and crafts.